Good morning. My name is Amy Gill, your pharmacist that cares. So, I received a ton of questions and feedback from last week when I talked about the daily defense and the mushroom powder. So, I had lots of questions about the immune system because, guys, it's fall. Winter's coming, right? So, I thought I'm going to talk more about your immune system, how everybody can boost it and be prepared for what is coming, which is cold weather. And I heard it's going to be like a bad snowy winter. So I don't know. We'll see. We do like snow just as long as they cancel school and we don't have to drive in it, right? So one thing, speaking of winter, I just want to throw something out there. So I was doing a little digging and this is kind of fun. So I'm sure your mom always told you, wear a coat. It's chilly, right? You don't want to get sick, because that really isn't true. So, I mean, yes, your kids should wear a coat because it's cold and they probably won't let them go outside if they don't have a coat on. But honestly, you're really probably not going to get sick from not wearing a coat. Why people get more sick in the winter is not because of that or all those other, tales that people hear, but it's because we're indoors more, right? People are closer together. And if somebody's sick and you're in a closed room, what's going to happen? The other people are they're definitely going to be exposed to it. And depending on their immune system, they might get whatever it is. So I just thought it was kind of a fun little myth to start with, but really that is it, because really the winter, we spend so much more time indoors. I mean, I love to be outside. It's perfect right now. It is so gorgeous. Even eating outside is our favorite thing to do around here as well. So I want to talk about some ways everybody can work together to boost their immune system and their immune health. So first is exercising. And I don't mean exercising once a week or once a month. I mean regular exercise. And that's going to look different for everyone. Okay. Some people are able just to take walks daily. Fantastic. Some people want to lift weights. Fantastic. But what I'm going to suggest is whatever you're doing, make sure it's not always the same thing. Number one, you need to work different parts of your body, right? But not just that. If we do the same thing day after day after day, what happens? We're totally going to get bored with it, right? So make sure you change it up. And again, find somebody to work out with. Go out, ride bikes with your kids. Go for a run with your kids. Go to Hot Works. There's plenty of different exercises you can do there. And again, remember, they're 15 minutes, guys. You cannot tell me you can't find 15 minutes to go to Hot Works and do an exercise, do a workout, okay? So you can always fit it in, but it has to be regular. So I highly suggest that you schedule that time in there that says, I'm going to work out, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to work out with. Because if you have somebody that's going to hold you accountable, that's great, but it also makes it more fun if you don't do it alone. So make sure you schedule that regular exercise. Eating lots of fruits and veggies, so key. And I don't mean the ones that are like, in the cans. I mean like the fresh ones. Have a tower garden. If you don't own a tower garden, I can tell you a wonderful lady that can get you a tower garden. It's amazing. You can grow your own veggies in your house, guys. Not like going and, getting lettuce and all those other things, tomatoes from the grocery store that don't taste good. This is actually really good. But if you don't have one, and you haven't gotten one yet or sent up and going, make sure you shop the perimeter of the store, okay? Some frozen fruits and veggies are fine because they are frozen very quickly and they still have a lot of nutrients. But just be careful which ones you are buying, that they're not full of fillers and extra things that are not good for you, okay? So make sure your diet is good in fruits and veggies. If you're like, I can't eat enough servings of that every day, I get it, I know. Life is busy, right? But I have an alternative that can help you make sure that you at least get your fruits and veggies and your greens every day. So if you need help with that, make sure you let me know. Maintaining a healthy weight. So if you are exercising regularly, you're eating properly, it's going to be easy to maintain that healthy weight. But honestly, that is a huge risk factor for a not so healthy immune system. So let's start moving. Let's start choosing better choices for healthy living. And then the weight's just going to follow. Those things will happen if you're doing step 1 and step 2. That's super easy. The next one is don't smoke. We know it's not good for us, right? So smoking really can take a hit on your immune system. So please avoid smoking and really avoid secondhand smoke as well, because that can be detrimental too. Alcohol, I'm not going to say avoid it completely, but definitely in moderation. Okay, so that is key, in moderation. Just like with everything, I talk about that word a lot, but really moderation is absolutely key. Sleeping, it's one of those 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, which a lot of these is what I'm talking about. They're just different forms of it. But adequate sleep. If you don't get sleep, you're not giving your body time to regenerate, rejuvenate, and be ready. So you have to make sure you get enough sleep. And yes, I know that varies for most people, but really 7 to 8 hours. Please make sure you plan good, uninterrupted sleep. Minimizing stress. I know, better said than done, right? And stress looks different for everybody. One situation might be really stressful for somebody, the other one's like, no big deal, I got this, right? So you can't just lump it together, but everybody has different levels of stress, what they get, they're worked up about, right? When do we go to blood pressure? We go to all these other things that we talked about before, but really minimize your stress. What I always tell the boys, I'm like, there's no reason to get upset about things. If the glass of milk spilled or if something broke, fine, let me know. We'll get it cleaned up. It's already done. I can't fix the milk that spilled, and I sure can't fix the broken thing. I mean, maybe super glue or Gorilla Glue, but not always, okay? But what's the point of getting upset about it? It's done, it's over. If you get upset, the stress level in the house just goes up and everybody's upset. So please don't do that. Always look at the positive. And I know even myself, I have to remind myself of that sometimes. But it's key. I'm telling you, you'll have a lot happier you and a lot happier household if you really look at things, not in the rose-colored glasses, but definitely look in a positive way for everything. Stay away from those negative things. And the last thing we can do to help with our immune system is gut health. You guys knew it was coming to gut health, right? Everything goes to gut health. Your whole body works based on what your gut is doing. And it is so key. You should not feel anything going on. And I have a lot of people, after I've helped them, they said, Amy, I had no idea how bad I actually felt until I realized what feeling good was. And that's the problem. Some people just get used to feeling bad and they grow accustomed to it. You shouldn't be that way, okay? So please, we need to talk about gut health, because remember, gut health, your immune system, your skin, your overall, even your stress, all those things are related back to gut health. So please, let's definitely chat about your gut health. Now, as we age, like elderly people, this becomes a problem, and it's called actually micronutrient malnutrition. So it's not that they haven't been doing some of these things their entire life, but as people age, they eat less, right? I'm sure you know your grandparents, your great grandparents, they eat less. They're just so they're not hungry. Their portions are tiny. What might be a spoonful or two to you is their whole meal. So because of that, they are lacking a lot of those vitamins and minerals. And they tend to eat the same things over and over, whether it's convenient, whether they live alone and they've made it and they've got lots of leftovers, but their variety is really not there. So it is key that we help them as well. Take them the fresh fruits and vegetables. If you got a tire garden, you got more probably on it than you can eat. Put them in a little basket or a little bag and take them over to somebody you know. Give them that variety of what they can eat. That is absolutely key. My mother-in-law she just turned 101. And I really attribute this long life to how she's eaten. She eats so healthy. Fruits and veggies are a part of every meal for her. And although she might not eat a lot, portion-wise, she eats all the good things. And keeping that positive attitude, I think, is huge. And I think that really contributes to people living a long, happy, healthy life. Now, one thing I want to talk about, because I've talked about all these things that you can do, and a lot of people talk about, okay, fine, let's talk about herbals. Let's talk about supplements. Just like I was talking about the mushroom powder last week, I talk about gut health products and all those things. But what is key with these things? Most of these products, they're not regulated by anybody, okay? They're regulated by themselves. And if your company is the one regulating it, what can happen? Sometimes things, if the company doesn't have a lot of integrity, they're looking more for the profit, right? They're not so much what's going in it. And what's going in each pill, each capsule, each serving you get might not be the same as the one before because it's not regulated. This jar might not be the same as this jar because it's not regulated. So it is so key that when you choose products, that you choose them from a company that you can trust. How do you decide who you can trust and which company has integrity? I'm going to tell you one thing to look for, and the list is actually growing, which makes me so happy. These are certified B corporations, B as in banana. Okay, so look these companies up. You'll even find clothing companies like Patagonia that is a certified B corporation. I think I talked about this a long time ago when we were off on one of our trips and we were in Argentina. And we were on a trip and they gave us all bottles of water. It had a big B with a circle around it. It just made me smile because that's what you're looking for on products. It's a capital B with a circle around it. And that means it is a B corporation. So these companies are held to the absolute highest standards. They are reevaluated every other year to see if they still meet that, because this is a big certification to get, is the B corporation. So they're looking at the environment. They're looking at how their products affect people, their purpose, their mission statement. Yes, these are for-profit companies, but these other things are held in such a high standard that yes, the profit's going to come and that's fine, but that's not their focus. They know integrity is key. The environment is key. It is key for these things to be around for generations to come. And they are amazing. You guys, seriously, just go look it up. I could do a whole talk or a really long talk about B corporations and how amazing they are. And that's exactly the company I have chosen to align myself with. Why? Because I need a company that has high integrity. As a pharmacist, there is no way that I would want to talk about or promote things that are not held to those high standards, because that is so important. My husband, being a physician, is 100% in agreement with me. He said, this is exactly what we're looking for. If we're going to say this is a good thing to use, and we know these supplements are good, we know they're going to provide benefit, we must know where they come from and all the research that goes into it. So I am actually going to talk so much more about immune health coming up on Sunday evening. I am going to do a live in my Healthy Living Facebook group. So if you guys are not part of it, of course, remember, if it's a live, you can catch it later. So if you can't jump on in the evening when I'm doing it, no worries. It will be in that group. But if you're not in that group, you are going to miss out. So please either send me a message, put a note on here, hey, Amy, I need to be part of the group. I am not, and I will definitely get you in there, and we will do that. If you guys want to send me questions ahead of time, I can definitely go through some of those. If you have questions about certain products or certain things that you've tried or certain things you're hearing about that are trending, tell me those ahead of time, because sometimes with Facebook, you can't always see the questions pop up as I am chatting. That way, I can be prepared and ready to answer all of your questions. I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Amy Gill, your pharmacist that cares.